Hello and welcome. My name's Dean Francis and I'm from the Urban Mindfulness Foundation. So before we start the practice, just reminding you that this recording is just for guidance only. And once you get the hang of the practice, feel free to guide yourself. And maybe coming back to the guidance on this recording if ever you find yourself losing track. Settling the mind practice. So in this practice, I invite you to start by checking in on the posture. If you're sitting in the chair, allowing the soles of the feet to be flat on the floor and the back to be straight, a sense of a strong spine and the rest of the body held softly. If you can, allowing the back to be self-supported, the neck and the head held alert on the shoulders and the chin tucked in slightly. Perhaps even placing the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth. So really holding an intentional posture that represents a sense of stability, dignity, a kind of relaxed alertness. And then I'll invite you to gather your attention in onto the breath. Exploring the full length of the in-breath, following this all the way and noticing the point it turns into an out-breath, and then following the out-breath all the way. It may be useful to also breathe ever so slightly deeper than normal, just so the breath presents itself to you in the body, but without forcing the breath. If you can, breathing in and out through the nose, allowing each breath to be silent. So as we follow the breath in this way, we can also give ourselves plenty to do to aid the mind settling down. And this can include regulating the length of the in-breath so that it's equal to the length of the out-breath. So breathing in deeply and breathing out slowly through the nose to aid with equalizing the length of the in-breath and the out-breath. It may be useful to count as you breathe in. So perhaps 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 or 6 on the in-breath, and then the same count on the out-breath. Allowing the in-breath and out-breath to be of equal length and rhythm. So it really doesn't matter what number you're counting to as you breathe in and breathe out. Just finding the count that suits you. This is your practice. If counting doesn't work, it's also acceptable to use a phrase or a word. We might suggest breathing in, breathing out, or deep as you breathe in and slow as you breathe out. So just finding here a method that works for you and allows you to equalize the breath. And by equalizing the breath in this way, we introduce an element of coherent breathing. So at some point in the practice, you'll notice the mind wanders off into thinking. Thoughts arise and there's a pull to engage with thinking, planning, daydreaming, thinking about the past or the future, or even the present moment. There may be a questioning if you've got it wrong or right, whether it's working or not working, or whether we like the regulating of the breath or not. All of these are just thoughts. So we notice them and just come back to the breathing and the counting. So we're not trying to stop thoughts or thinking or emptying the mind in any way. Instead, we just notice thoughts arising, perhaps as distraction, and bring our attention gently back onto the breath, equalizing the breath and counting the best we can. So staying with the breathing and the counting, whilst at the same time being aware of thoughts arising or passing through the mind, and not engaging with them if this is at all possible. At any moment, you may notice how you could shift your focus onto a thought and then develop into thinking, planning, judging, liking or disliking. But in this practice, we try not to get involved with thinking and simply come back to the breathing and the counting each time we notice distraction. At some point, you might notice subtle beliefs that you have to achieve something in this practice, or that you're not getting it right, you can't do it. Not sure what you're even meant to be doing at all. Remember, all of these are subtle thoughts also. We just notice them and come back to the breathing and the counting, remembering that that's what minds do. And then as we come towards the end of the settling the mind practice, I'll invite you to shift your attention onto the out-breath, following the full length of each out-breath. See if you can notice perhaps how the body naturally relaxes with every out-breath. So just spending some time with the out-breath here. Noticing the sensations in the body and how the body lets go naturally and relaxes with every out-breath. Now it might be useful to imagine letting go of thoughts or thinking as they arise every time you breathe out. Perhaps it's worthwhile considering mind can learn from the body, and as the body releases the out-breath, mind releases involvement with thinking. And to end the practice, perhaps gently letting go of any counting and allowing the in-breath and the out-breath to return to a natural and soothing rhythm. So allowing the breath to be natural, no longer any need to control the breath in any way. And perhaps connecting with a sense that this breath and this breath and this breath is able to settle the mind with its natural calming rhythm. So just a quick reminder that the Settling the Mind practice is the first element of a 4-stage practice that comprises the key practice delivered in the mindfulness-based living program and the program we deliver based around inclusion. Go well, practice, stay safe.